நீட் தேர்வு இல்லாத மருத்துவத்துறை சார்ந்த படிப்புகளுக்கு விநாயகா மிஷன் ஸ்கூல் ஆஃப் அலைட் ஹெல்த் சயின்ஸ் சேலம், சென்னை, பாண்டிச்சேரி.
டார்லிங் ஏசி திருவிழா இந்தியாவிலேயே மிக குறைந்த மாத தவணையில் ஏசி.
Wonder Diamonds, India's largest lab-grown diamond brand. Diamond prices starting from 22,800 per carat.
Hello and welcome to Galatta Plus. In this video review episode, we are going to be talking about Gopichand Malineni's JAAT starring Sunny Deol. This is a potent masala movie that overrides predictability with a terrific first half. And even if the post-interval portions don't quite measure up, the visual energy keeps us watching, along with the hero who owns the now legendary 2.5 kilo ka haath. The rest of this review may contain spoilers. It's a season for political references in our big star masala movies. If Emperor went back to the 2002 violence in Gujarat, which is still contentious, Sunny Deol's JAAT finds its villain in the Sri Lankan civil war, making the still contentious claim that the Tigers were terrorists. This villain's name is Ranatunga and he's played by Randeep Hooda in full-on savage menace mode. I think more of our serious actors should give in to the pleasures of the masala movie at least once in a while. The man is wildly magnetic. Given his place of origin, Ranatunga is the Ravana of this movie, while the hero gets his introduction on an Ayodhya-bound train filled with devotees singing the praises of Rama. Due to an accident or due to divine intervention, the train stops near the place where Ranatunga and his men have unleashed the reign of terror, and the showdown begins. The basic age-old one-line of Gopichand Malineni's movie is from Kurosawa's Yojimbo. A random man with no love interest wanders into a random town where bad men live and he puts an end to the badness. And the first half is a masterclass in masala cinema writing. You know the hero has to meet the villain, but JAAT makes us wait for it through a very funny running joke that keeps on giving. The hero meets a villain lower down the rungs and then one slightly higher up and then one who is even more up the ladder, and only then does he stand face to face with Ranatunga. At a time when so many of our masala movies are just a loose collection of hero elevation scenes, JAAT builds up step by step to the confrontation between good and evil. There is not a single wasted scene and each development segues neatly into the next one and escalates the drama. Every department pitches in. There's a super cool stunt where Ranatunga hangs upside down and becomes a sort of helicopter, doing a 360-degree turn with knives in his hands, slashing the throats of his opponents. There is a lot of that in this movie. Beheadings, the cutting of thumbs and other such blood-soaked joys. I find it refreshing that we are moving away from the cartoonish dishum violence of our older films and drawing real blood. This really helps to raise the stakes. The darkish color palette helps too. On the other hand, the film doesn't forget to wink at its leading man and his water pump stunt in Gadar. This is the fun, cartoonish part where Sunny Deol turns into a bulldozer, that's his nickname in this movie, and uproots and demolishes everything in his sight with nothing more than his 2.5 kilo ka haath. The role fits the actor like a 2.5 kilo ka glove. But it's also frustrating that every time a bad guy wants to teach a woman a lesson, he disrobes her. There is a nice retaliation scene where one such woman wields a fire extinguisher on her attacker between his legs after announcing that unlike a man, a woman's honor is not between her legs, but the other women are just generic victims and their scenes leave a sour taste in the mouth. I love the touch that it's not just men but that women can be evil too. Regina Cassandra plays Ranatunga's wife and what she does in her first big scene is a shocker. Ranatunga's aged mother too is no slouch. In her first big scene, she is terrorizing a bunch of government officials into notarizing blank papers. The film is set in coastal Andhra Pradesh and I like the mix of languages, especially Hindi, which is spoken with both a northern accent and a southern accent. The second half though is disappointing. It turns totally serious, which is another word for seriously predictable. We get the sad flashback that explains what Ranatunga did to establish his empire of evil, and then we get the smaller flashbacks that establish who the hero is, and a big plot point is treated idiotically by having the Regina Cassandra character narrate it to people she's holding captive. Why would such a cruel and clever woman, the only person capable of confronting and diffusing Ranatunga's rage, reveal this information to a bunch of strangers? It feels that after the terrific first half, the writers lost their energy and settled for the easiest narrative cliches, including patriotism and self-righteousness, and Jagapati Babu playing a CBI officer who lands up at the climax scene later than the police usually do. मैं इस मिट्टी से बना जाट हूँ, our hero says before wiping the floor clean with the Sri Lanka के मिट्टी से बना villain. Sunny Deol made his debut in Betab, but the love story has never been his forte. He excels when he has an omnipotent villain opposite him, someone who shows off his omnipotence with lip-smacking lines like "Suraj bhi mujhse garmi mangta hai." If the second half of JAAT had matched up to the garmi of the first half, we might have had a modern-day masala classic. But even when the film loses energy post-interval, it yet never loses visual energy. Cinematographer Rishi Punjabi gives us a series of cool visuals where even something like a mass hanging is presented to us with a flair, with a lovely pan shot. It will be interesting to see if JAAT succeeds because unlike the South, Hindi cinema does not have the tradition of aging yet potent action heroes. But even with all the flaws and missed opportunities, JAAT is the best Hindi masala movie made by a southern filmmaker. Even if it doesn't reinvent the wheel, it proves that there's still mileage left in the genre. That's it about JAAT. If you like this video review, do subscribe to Galatta Plus and see you soon at the movies.
நீட் தேர்வு இல்லாத மருத்துவத்துறை சார்ந்த படிப்புகளுக்கு விநாயகா மிஷன் ஸ்கூல் ஆஃப் அலைட் ஹெல்த் சயின்ஸ் சேலம் சென்னை பாண்டிச்சேரி.
டார்லிங் ஏசி திருவிழா இந்தியாவிலேயே மிக குறைந்த மாத தவணையில் ஏசி.
Wonder Diamonds, India's largest lab-grown diamond brand. Diamond prices starting from 22,800 per carat.